च प्राप्याय प्रापकायास्तु नमः श्रीनिधये नमः। श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। पुत्रिणे चितचित्पित्रा पौत्रिणे परमेष्ठिना स्नुषावते जगन्मात्रा वात्स्याय गुरवे नमः। यस्मिन् पदं यतिपदेर्वदनारविन्दात् निष्क्रामदेव निधते निगमन्तभाष्यं तस्यैव तं भगवतः प्रियभागिनेयं वन्दामहे वरदविष्णुपदाभिधेयं सत्कुर्वता संसदि शिष्यवर्गान् अनन्यलभ्यैरखिलैस्वचिह्नैः श्रीभाष्यसिंहासनमात्मनीनं यस्मै च दत्तं यतिशेखरेण यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। हरिः ओं। यः पूर्व्याय वेधसे नवीयसे सुमज्जानये विष्णवे ददाशति यो जातमस्य महतो महिब्रवात् से दुष्श्रवोभिर्युज्यञ्चिदभ्यसत् तमुस्तोतारः पूर्व्यै यथा विदर्तस्य गर्भगुहविषा पिपर्तना आस्य जानन्तो नाम चिद्विभक्तना बृहत्ते विष्णो सुमतिं भजामहे इन्दुणै पदुमत्तलर्मகள் தனக்குமின்பம் நற்புவிதனக்கிறைவன் தன் துணையாயர் பாவைனப்பின்னை தனக்கிறை மற்றையோர்க்கு எல்லாம் வன் துணை பஞ்ச பண்டவர்க்காகி வாயுரை தூது சென்றியங்கும் என் துணை என் துணை என் துணை எந்தை தந்தை தம்மானை திருவல்லிக்கேணி கண்டேனே प्रेयस्याः पद्मजायाः मधुरसहचरं साधुभूमीश्वरं तं स्वप्राणाभीरवंश्या प्रभुमथ च तथाशेष सर्वासहायं पञ्चानां पाण्डुजानां मुखजवदनभृद्दूत्यकृत्ये चरन्तं मत्साहाय्यं दधानं मत्साहाय्यं दधानं मत्साहाय्यं दधानं मदिनकुलपतिं कैरविण्यामपश्यं यदप्सुते सरस्वती गोष्मश्वेषु यन्मधु तेन मे वाजिनीवति मुखमन्धि सरस्वती। नमः सदसे एतर्हि भगवतो महापुरुषस्य आश्रितवात्सल्ये जलधेः परमदयाळोः श्रीमतः पार्थसारथे परया कृपया अत्र विष्णुमोहनसंस्थायां सद्गुरुवर्याणां तथा तत्प्रियशिष्याणां च पुरतः आचार्यसार्वभौमस्य अस्मत्कुलकूटस्थस्य श्री नडादूरम्माळ् इति प्रसिद्धस्य वात्स्यवरददेशिकस्य परमार्थद्वयं परमार्थश्लोकद्वयम् इति शीर्षकं प्रबद्धं प्रति दासजनस्य उपन्यासः सम्प्रति प्रस्तूयते। Dear devotees, I have been ordered by the holy gathering here to give a lecture on Paramartha Shlokadvayam of Sri Vatsya Varada Deshika, more popularly known as Sri Nadadurammal here. In fact, this is the easiest topic to handle. It will appear like that. There are only 2 slokas to be dealt with. Paramartha shloka dvayam. But there is one more shloka, 2 plus 1. 3 slokas. I had just now got a message that I can go up to even 6:15 p.m. if I can manage. So a time limit given to... Great, very kind of you. No, anyhow, after 6:15 probably we should not go because then it will be Sandhya Kal. Hinasti vai sandhyadhitam. There is a great Sanskrit saying, Vedas say, if you read or study anything during the Sandhya Kalam, that will harm you, kill you. That is why during Sandhya Vandanam, only Sandhya Vandanam has to be. During Sandhya Kalam, only Sandhya Vandanam has to be. Other things need not be done at that time. Anyhow, let me see. I will take my own time as his kindness has shown. Mr. Padmanabhan asked me, are you going to speak in English? I said, you wanted me to talk in English. Is it okay? He said, okay. Then I told him, which is okay? My talking English is okay or my English is okay? Please consider. And he was kind enough to accept both can be okay. Now, before proceeding to actual Paramartha Shloka Dvayam, let us see the invocation Shloka to the author. That is Sri Vatsya Varda Guru, known as Sri Varda Guru also, but more popularly known as Nadadu Rammal in Tamil. He was the grandson of Swami Ramanuja's nephew. Bhagavad Ramanuja had 2 sisters. One sister was called Bhumi. Her son was the famous Dasharathi. All these Vaishnavacharyas normally will have a Sanskrit name and a Tamil name also. Though rather Dasharathi was called as Modaliyandan in Tamil. Ramanuja, known as Embiramanar, whatever, he himself had so many names. All his disciples had at least one in Sanskrit, one in Tamil. Ramanuja's elder nephew, that is Dasharathi, known as Modaliyandan, was a great scholar highly devoted to Ramanuja. Ramanuja had another sister. She was called Kamala, and Kamala's son was Nadadur Alva in Tamil. In Sanskrit, Varada Vishnu Mishra. Varada Vishnu and Dasarathi were Ramanuja's nephews. It is described in Yatiraja Vijaya Nataka. A Nataka, something very close to Sankalpa Suryodaya, but it is simpler, shorter, and giving the essences of Bhagavad Ramanuja's philosophy. The author of that work, Yatiraja Vijaya, is called Chinna Ammal. He was the 5th in the general 5th from Nadaduramal in the Vamsha of Nadaduramal. He was the guru for the first year of Ahobilamat, Ajvan Shatovo by Didra Mahadeshna. There he mentions when Ramanuja took to sannyasa, a sannyasi has to declare, that too without a mic, in a very big voice, reachable from here to Valluvarkottam, let us say. See, they believed that when those days, when a man shouted like that, he would not tell lies. They had not seen our politicians who in the high pitch tell only lies. But those days they believed, when you tell lie, you cannot be so bold and so vociferous. So the one who takes to sannyasam has to declare, I have come out of Putreshanaya, Vitteshanaya, Dareshanaya. I have no desire for wife, no desire for sons, children, no desire for any wealth. And he has to say, all my relatives, I just cut off now. Every relative of mine, I just cut the relationship with me now. This is what a sannyasi should declare in a high-pitched voice. I will tell you an interesting anecdote. When the famous Tirukudande Andavan, who lived in the recent past, took to sannyasam, he had to stand in at least navel depth water and declare. He has to make this declaration. His guru Tenbare Andavan was sitting. When Kannan Swami, popularly known those days in that day, was taking to sannyasam to become Tirukudande Andavan, Vedanta Ramanuja Mahadeshika, he had to say this Putreshana, Vitteshana, Dareshana in high-pitched voice. But when he made those declarations in high-pitched voice, the Guru's sitting on the bank of the tank, wherein this Kannan Swami was standing in navel deep water and declaring, told him, this is not enough, shout more, shout, shout, shout. He told, I can't do more than this unless I got a mic with me. Like that, they used to declare. Ramanuja took to sannyasam in the banks of Ananta Saras, the famous Pushkarini of Devadhiraja in Kanchipuram. At that time he was told, I am cutting off Sarva Bandhu Parityagam, I am doing Sarva Bandhu Parityagam. At that time Ramanuja, it is said interestingly, I cut off all my relations with others except my two nephews. This is a beautiful new revolutionary declaration of a sannyasi. He said, all my relatives I cut off, except my two nephews, that is Varda Vishnu and Modaliyanda. Yabhyam vina Ramanuja sannyasaha iti kim vadanti. People said, there can't be a mantra like this. Tomorrow another sannyasi will say, I cut off all relations except with my wife. Then what will happen to sannyasa? Ramanuja said, if only I had got such a wife, I would not have come to sannyasa itself. That is a different story. But why should we leave the relations? Because relatives always distract us. They don't help us to think of the God. They may create problems, create tension, and make their life miserable, our lives also miserable. That is why we leave all of them, and to think of God, we take to sannyasa. But my two nephews, they always make me think of the God, think of the Lord. So why should I cut off their relations? So when Ramanuja became a sannyasi, these two nephews were with him, with Kuratalvan, Modaliyanda, Nadaduralvan. These three were the earliest disciples of Ramanuja. They lived with him till the end. Kuratalvan passed away earlier, then Modaliyanda, Nadaduralvan after Ramanuja. That is what we hear from the Guru Paramparas. This Nadaduralvan, Varda Vishnu was a great logician. Our friend, Sri Vijayaraghavan Swami is here, who has studied Nyaya Siddhanjana and Nyaya Parashuddhi, etc. He may recall that in many places Swami Vedanta Deshika quotes from the works of Varda Vishnu Mishra. He attempted at Ramanuja's time. Ramanuja wrote the commentary on Brahma Sutras but did not make a concise, what I can say, book on Vishishtadvaita Darshana. Though his Vedanta Sangraha contained his policies, but 1, 2, 3 like that listing, what are the aspects in our Darshana? Probably he did not write such a manual. But his Sishyas were ordered by him to attempt it. It is what I understand. And his Sishyas, Parasara Bhatta, Lord Vattaratnakara, etc. And Varda Vishnu Mishra wrote the Manayathatpaninya. It's some many works. And all of those works are not available to us today. I thank God in one respect, because we have to read those books also. Those books are not available. But only extracts from those books have been quoted by Swami Vedanta Deshika, which are available in his work. And this Varda Vishnu Mishra should have been a great logician, thinker. Many issues among Varda Vishnu Mishra's words are quoted by Deshika, sometimes to clarify them, sometimes in support of a concept he is going to establish that. That was the greatness of Varada Vishnu. And Ramanuja gave his Sribhashya Simhasanam throne to Varada Vishnu when he departed from this mortal world. Sribhashya Simhasanam Atmaninam. That Sribhashya Simhasanam Ramanuja gave as a gift to his nephew Varada Vishnu, who assisted him in writing the Sribhashya and then also in many ways for discussions and debates on Sribhashya. This is, I am telling this because I am a descendant of Nadadura. You may think like that. This is not my imagination. This is recorded in Guru Paramparas. There is a shloka which is found in the 6,000 Padi Guru Parampara, the oldest Guru Parampara. Today Shiva Ishtava Sampradaya is divided as Tengalai and Vadagalai. And Tengalai wrote the Guru Parampara first. And that Guru Parampara itself says Ramanuja gave his Sribhashya Simhasanam to his nephew Varada Vishnu. Satpurvata Samsati Shishya Vargan Ananyalabhyehi Akhileswachinnaihi Sribhashya Simhasanam Atmaninam Yaspaicha Dattam Yatishekharena Yasminam Padam Yatipater Vadanaravindat Nishkramadeva Nidhade Nigamanta Bhashyam Tasyaivatam Bhagavata Priyabhagineyam Vandamage Varada Vishnu Padabhidam. This Varada Vishnu was the person who studied Sribhashya as it emanated from the mouth of Ramananda. Others studied later. He was so close at that time and he was given the Sribhashya Simhasana. And it is a great blessing to me that I come in that lineage. And we also bear the title Sribhashya Simhasana because of that ancestor's greatness. And this represents that Sribhashya Simhasana. There is Bhashyakara here, there is another one. That is why I prostrated before them and ascended the throne, sat here. This Varada Vishnu Mishra had a son, Devaraja. And Devaraja's son was this Nadaduram. Now why I tell all these things? To make it clear that the background of Nadadurumal was so great. He was from a great dynasty, a great Brahmavit Santati, and fittingly he studied Sribhashya thoroughly under Yangaladvan, Sri Vishnu Chitta, sacrificing so many things. When he wanted to study Sribhashya from Vishnu Chitta, Yangaladvan, who was an expert at that time, the expert demanded a Guru Dakshina from Varada Nadaduram, Varada Deshika, that he would do all his Kainkaryam after death as a son would do to his father, because Yangaladvan was issueless. Varada was also only son of his father. So how to do this without the permission of his father? Yangaladvan put this condition sitting in Tiruvallai near Srirangam, where he went to study under him. He again went to Kanchipuram, asked his father, "You told Yangaladvan is the best teacher possible now, and he demands this Guru Dakshina. I am only son of you. Can I offer this Guru Dakshina to him and study from him?" His father said, "Atyarika should study from under him." He promised, studied thoroughly, and when Vishnu Chitta passed away, he did all his final rites as a son would do to his father, and then came back to Kanchipuram and spread the message he learned from Yangaladvan, the great teacher in here. His discourses attracted so many people those days who wanted to study Ramanuja's Sribhashya. One of them was Surapragashika Bhattar, Vedavyasa Bhattar, who was great grandson of Koratalva. He came and studied Sribhashyam under this Varada Deshika in Kanchipuram. The judge who spoke online to me before, online to all of us before me, made a reference to Nadadurumal's blessings to Vedanta Deshika in his childhood. And she also referred to the painting in the temple of Varadaraja in Kanchipuram, which represents the place where this Vatsya Varadeshika, Nadadurmal, gave discourses on Sri Bhashya. Our ancestors were very careful. This painting they made in the ceiling, inner side of the ceiling. In case they had put it on the wall, some college student would have come and wrote over this, I love you or something. So they protected that nobody does any such mischief on the painting. So the painting was made in the ceiling. You can see even today that was also mentioned by the judge in her discourse. Vatsya Varadeshika, because he belonged to Shivatsa Gotra, he was known as Vatsya, and Varadeshika gave his discourses in that place in Kanchipuram. Even today, people who go to Kanchipuram to have darshan of Lord Varadaraja in the mountain Hastigiri, first go to this place which is on the eastern prakara, making an anti-clockwise move, which normally we don't do. We always do clockwise move pradakshinam to enter the temple, the sanctum sanctum of Varadaraja. But people will climb the stairs and no knowledgeable people will make an anti-clockwise movement, go to the eastern prakara where this painting is there on the ceiling. They will offer their prayers there, salutations there, and then only again come clockwise and enter the sanctum sanctum of Varadaraja. This is the practice of knowledgeable people. Even the Vigraha of Swami Deshika, which you can see on which we had in the book on the right side, it is in Thiruvaindrapuram. But in Tupul also there is a Vigraha for Ramanuja, Swami Deshika. And on the birthday of, on the Tirunakshatram Jayanti of Swami Deshika, this Vigraha is taken to Kanchipuram, to Sanctum Sanctum of Varadaraja to have Varadaraja's darshan. Even that Vigraha is taken in procession. When the Vigraha people climb the hill, stairs, they also make the anti-clockwise movement, Vijayaraghava will vouchsafe for this, and go to this place where the painting is in the ceiling. Deshika will be, Deshika's Vigraha will be kept there, and all will in chorus chant the shloka which was given in blessing by Nadadurmal to Deshika. Pratitthapita Vedanta, Judge Madam gave the meaning of the shloka succinctly. Pratitthapita Vedanta, Pratikshipta Bahirmata, Bhuyaha Traividya Manyasvam, Bhuri Kalyana Bhaja. Swami Deshika kept this in memory and handed it over to the future by putting the shloka in his Sankalpa Suryodaya drama. This was the greatness of this Varada Guru, Varada Deshika, Vatsya Varadeshika. His discourses were so famous. Kurathalwan's great grandson was his student, and he studied under him for so many years, so many times the Sri Bhashya, and did a great service to Ramanuja Sri Bhashya by reducing what all he heard into writing. It's a great difficult task. Madam Indira will vouchsafe for that. How she made this book, I know. How many times she phoned up to me, I know. This book in the gigantic size is, there should be a bigger size of this book also. The efforts they put to climb the Everest. She will ask me questions. I am a lazy fellow. I will say, I will explain to you. She will not leave. Please tell me this. And they have toiled so much and brought out this book. Reducing in writing what you heard is not that simple. You have to keep it in mind and also record. Those days we didn't have the tape recorder. But this Kurathalwan's great grandson, known as Vedavyasa Bhatta or Sudarshana Suri, every day had it a practice of recording what he learned that day from his guru on palm leaves. That is how he remembered what was told in the first round, what was again explained, how it was explained by his guru in the second round of Kalakshepa. Like that 18 rounds he had heard. We hear only once from the guru and become acharyas. But Sudhaprakash Acharya, the patience and the devotion, the sincerity, he writes at the end of the book, this book is written by me, not authored by me. And he uses the very same words this Vatsya Varadesika used to explain the terms in Sri Bhashya. And it is one of the best commentaries for Sri Bhashya. Even today, most disciple friendly, student friendly. There is no more commentary to commentary parallel to this Shuddha Prakashika. Shuddha Prakashika itself means publishing what you heard. What he heard from his Guru he published. This was the philosophical background of Sri Nadadu Rammal. Nadadu Rammal's devotion is entirely another ocean. He was so much devoted to Lord Varadaraja that when he was the trustee of the temple, those days the trustees or managing trustees or the so-called dharmakartas were people who believed in the existence of God. The situation today is very, very pathetic. It is our unfortunate condition. It is the sin we have committed. They are living in this condition today. They believed in the existence of God and His service. So, Vatsya Varadesika was at that time the trustee of Kanchi Varadaraja temple. One day, Ardhajama Puja, milk was being offered. That is the final puja on the day. Everybody would be tired by that time. So the Paricharaka from the kitchen of the temple, he brought milk, boiling hot, and placed before the deity. It is steaming. And the priest took it and was to offer to Lord Varadaraja. Stop! Cried Vatsya Varadesika, who was in the assembly there. He said, if you offer this milk in such a hot condition, will it not burn the tongue of Lord? Like a mother, he got that milk patra in his hand after washing his hands and then made it by pouring it in another vessel and exchanging, completely making it to palatable temperature, and then took a spoon of the milk in his hand and said, now it is okay, you can offer. Then requested the Archaka to offer that milk in palatable heat to the God. Archaka was just observing. Swami, you have been telling in your lectures behind this temple, behind this Garbhagriha, that fire came out of the mouth of Lord, and why should he not take this hot milk? Why are you making a scene here at this time? But he said that is a different story. When the Lord is worshipped by us in this form, we should worship Him with a mother's affection. At the same time, we should worship Him with the devotion of a servant to the king. So kindly offer it now. When the milk was offered, Varadaraja shouted, the temple walls, I can reverberate it with this sound. Amma, he said, you are my mother. All along these people have been thinking that there is a only statue they are offering this milk as a ritual. You have given it to me as a mother would give to her child. You are my mother, Amma, he said. And his name that day onwards became Ammal. People started calling him with respect. When God called him Amma, they said Ammal. That is why Vatsya Varadesika became Ammal. Not because he was a lady. Nowadays people write articles also, research papers also. Ramanuja Sampradaya is a highly revolutionary Sampradaya. There was a great lady who was the great grand preceptor of Swami Deshika. And she was called Nadadu Rammal. I have seen a book like that. But he doesn't know the background. She was not a lady, he was a gentleman. But because of his maternal affection, Varadaraja called him as his mother. And he has been known as Ammal Guru. And Nadadur was the place established by Nadadur Alvan's father. And that is why the tag came as Nadadur Rammal. Now, why I have given all these things is, we are hearing the words from the mouth of such a great personality. Nadadur Rammal's elaborate commentary, what he taught and what has been recorded, reduced writing, runs to 36,000 granthas. One grantha means 32 letters. 36,000 granthas means maybe 2,44,000 letters or something. It is a very voluminous book. But when he has written himself books, normally they are very small in size. And because of his mastery, he could give very deep concepts of philosophy in simple words, in small words. And that was his greatness. This, but for him, today we would not be in this position to enjoy the nectar of Sri Bhashya of Bhagavan Ramanuja. His student, Purat Advance, great grandson, I told you, Sudarshan Suri, Vedavyasa Bhattar, in the beginning of Shiva Prakasha, has an invocation stanza on his Guru. That stanza is this: Vandeham Varadariyantam Vatsa Vijanabhushanam Bhashyamrita Pradhanadya Sanjeevayati Mamapi. These slides were prepared by me yesterday night between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. So there will be some spelling mistakes. Now only I am also noting the spelling mistake. Sanjeevayati Mamapi. It is not Sanjeevayi Mamapi. Sanjeevayati Mamapi. But as Sudarshan Bhattar says, I one day worship that Vatsabhijana Bhushanam, ornament of the noble ones of the Vatsas and Vatsagotra. Varadaryam, called Varadarya. Who Sanjeevati resurrects Bhashyamrita Padanat by giving the nectar called Sri Bhashya even to me, Apima. Even I am resurrected, even my soul gets resurrected by this nectar called Sri Bhashya, which was given to me by Vatsya Varadacharya. I worship you. This invocation stanza is to be always chanted before chanting the work of an Acharya. We in Tamil call that as Taniyan. Taniyan is not a part of the main work, it is Tani, separate. That is why it is called Taniyan. My father will say, chanting the Taniyan will make you Taniyan in Sanskrit. Taniyan in Sanskrit means worth to get a lot of wealth. So we always should chant the Taniyan, meditating shloka on the Acharya whose work we are going to use. This is the practice, Vedic practice. If you want to do Gayatri Japam, you should say Gayatri Mantra, say Vishwamitro Bhagavan Rishihi. That is actually worshipping Vishwamitra. Unless you have devotion to the author of the work, unless you chant the prayer on the author of the work, the mantra may not give you the siddhi, will not give you the siddhi. That is why I have explained this shloka also. This is a Taniyan of Nadadurumal, which you should chant before chanting his Paramartha shloka. Okay? Vandeham Varadariyantam Vatsabhijana Bhushanam Bhashyamrita Pradhanadyaha Sanjeevayati Mamapi. Fortunately, the work which I am going to explain of Nadadurumal, the work of Nadadurumal, is made of only 2 shlokas and one just appendix. We can chant the whole shloka before the lecture. So for the benefit of all of us, let me chant those shlokas. Satsangat bhavanispruho guru mukhad shisham prapadyatmavan prarabdham paribhujya karma shakalam prakshina karmantaraha nyasadeva nirankusheshwara daya nilunamayanvayaha hardanugrahalabdhamadhyadhamani dvara bhagirnishgataha muktaha Archirdina Purva Paksha Shadudang Masabdavatam Subhat Glauvidyut Varunendra Dhadrumahitaha Simanta Sindhvaprutaha Shri Vaikuntha Mupetya Nityamajadam Tasmin Parabrahmanaha Sayujyam Samuhapya Nandati Samam Tenaiva Dhanya Puman Pratar Nityanusandeyam Paramartham Mukshubhiki Shokadvayena Samkhiptam Suvyaktam Varado Bravid. Why this importance of this stotra? Only 2 shlokas. What does the Guru convey to us? This gives the journey of the blessed soul to get eternal bliss. journey of a blessed soul to get the eternal bliss. How you should make your journey. That is why this has to be chanted every day, daily, by a person who wants to get emancipation. People who want to get emancipation are called mumukshu in our sampradaya. Mumukshu, person who wants moksha. If you want emancipation, salvation, you become a mumukshu. And the mumukshu should daily chant these two slokas. This is so important. Nityanusandheyam prataha mumukshubhi. Those who desire to reach the eternal heaven of the Lord will do well to chant these slokas every day in the morning. Prataha nityanusandheyam. Paramartham. There is nothing more than this. This is the absolute superior concept. If you study this, there is nothing else needed for you. You should read this every day in the morning. And this is narrated by Varada. That is enough, because it is narrated by Varada. Varada, who is the grandson of the nephew of Lord Rama, Bhagavad Ramanuja. Varada, who blessed Vedanta Deshika, by which Vedanta Deshika became Vedanta Deshika. Varada, who gave the commentary to Shibhashya, the famous Sudaprakashika. Varada, who was so much devoted to Lord Varadaraja and was called Badar by him, narrated these slokas. So this is essentially to be read every day in the morning by those who are all mumukshus. This is the sealing verse. Prataha nityanusandheyam paramartham mumukshubhi shokadvayena. But he didn't make it very elaborate. Samkshiptam. Briefly he has mentioned. So now 1.5 hours will not be enough actually, because this has got so much of matter packed in these two slokas. That is why Acharya says, Vatsya Varadaguru says, Samukshiptam. It has been briefly mentioned in slokas. But at the same time, when you go for brevity, you will lose clarity. I have suffered a lot, 35 years of work in the central government. I learned one thing. Whenever we write a brief note to our IAS bosses, they will say, this is very brief, boy, elaborate it. Then we come and elaborate it. They will call us, this is very big, please make it brief. Either way he is going to read it. He will not read when it is brief also, when it is elaborate also, he is not going to read. But it is the prerogative of the bosses to comment like this. So when we give elaborate note, they will want brief note. When we give brief notes, they will seek elaborate notes. But brevity and clarity can go rarely together. But Nadaduramal says, in my Paramartha Slokadvaya, brevity and clarity go together. Not ordinary clarity, suvyaktam, with good clarity. So please chant this every day. 70 years, I am now 74. At least before 70 years, there would not be a Sri Vaishnava who would not have chanted this sloka day. In our Villur, our Rajamani has come. There is a beautiful pond behind the temple of the Rajagopala Swami. We have got his Pushkarini. And Sri Vaishnava Agraha, Vaishnavis will go and take their bath there and bring water in the copper pot for the Anushtan in the house, copper sombu, Manargu sombu. And they will all carry the sombu like this on the right hand. Sombu will go first, they will go behind it. You should handle it like that. In Valmiki Ramayana it is said, Valmiki went first and behind him went Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja went behind Valmiki, carrying Prishtataha Anujagama. He went behind him and following him. When somebody goes behind itself, he follows him. Then why should Valmiki say Prishtataha Anujagama? Waste, redundant. Prishtataha Jagama was enough. Or Anujagama would have been sufficient. Then why he puts Prithataganu behind and another behind? It is explained by Acharya as this. He went behind Valmiki and Kalasam Purnamadaya, and he carried a pot full of water for the Anuttara of the Guru and went behind that pot also. You should not carry it like that or like this, because it is going to be used for the Anuttana by his Guru. So he went behind the Guru, he went behind the Kalasam also, pot also. That is why two behinds are there in this sloka. So people will come like that. They will have the pot glittering, copper pot well polished in the water of the tank. It will be glittering in the morning sun's rays, and they will come with all their 12 Urdhapundras towards Agraharam, and invariably Satsangat Bhavanispurgo Guru Mukhat Shisham Prapadyatman being chanted by them. Many of them never knew who wrote that. In our village, I don't know how many people would have known that it was written by Nadadurummal. Because they always, sometimes, because they know us, whatever hatred they have towards us, they carry it to our ancestors also. If they know it was Nadadurummal, they might not have chanted, I don't know. But they don't know it is Nadadurummal, because he was the universal Guru of Shashi Vaishnavas. So it was a practice those days. They will carry it and chant this sloka and come. And now, if you go to normal Vaishnavacharyas, many people may not know this sloka. That is the degeneration in the last 70 years. Now, Varada Nadadur Ammal says, Varada Guru says, why I took up this, I could have said, because I am also very careful. I don't want to go out of my house because of the corona. So when Vishnu Mohan Padmanabhan phoned up to me, I said, I will give an online lecture, please leave me. But he said, no, Swamiji wants you to come personally. We will make you all safe arrangements. Don't do it. And one thing, much of crowd will not be there in these places, so that problem is not there. So he told me assuredly. And then I immediately accepted, because this is the work of our ancestor, which is almost being forgotten by Shiva Vaishnavas. When Vishnu Mohan Foundation at least cares to listen to it. So I should come even at any cost. That is why I made it today. Otherwise I would have refused, but I have not been going out at all for the last, after April, from May, June, 2 months I have not moved out of my house's gate itself. It is because of this great affection this Swamiji had for the work of Nadadu Rammal, who is not my ancestor only, he is the ancestor for all Shiva Vaishnavas. Not all Shiva Vaishnavas, all believers in God. I came out of love to that, and somebody is interested in listening this. This is a small stotra, but if 2 slokas are chanted, your life will be blessed, and you will climb a staircase towards heaven at the end of your life. Later on, Swami Deshika, who is the disciple of Nadadurummal, for whom Nadadurummal was the Paramacharya. He wrote a book called Paramapada Sopan. It is a very famous book. I have given 30 lectures on Paramapada Sopana in Deshika Bhavanam during 1990. Imagine, 1990, today is 2021, 31 years ago. And at that time, the great Mahamahopadhyaya Shivatsangacharya was one of the audience, because he is the Asthana Vidwan of that Vedanta Deshika. He would have to sit and listen. But he used to tell, many people speak here, they speak rubbish, I have told all right. But when it is yours, I always come and sit with affection. And I enjoyed all these 30 lectures. That Paramapada Sopanam, he says, is a staircase for a human being to reach heaven from earth, to reach Vaikuntham from this place. But I feel that he has elaborated what Nadadurummal said in this show. He has taken this as a role model. As in Tamil we say, if I put a line, he will put a road there. Kodu Potta, road Podu. Ammal Kodu Potta, Swami Vedanta Deshika, road Potta. Adamari he developed it later. Here, now Amma, let us go to the Paramartha Shloka, the first step 1. Satsangat. The Jivan, a blessed soul, will first have satsangam. That is the most important thing. One should, if you want to attain salvation, the first step for you is to have satsangam. Satsangate, because of satsanga, you should have bhavanis, you become bhavanispraha. By association with the good people, you start losing interest in samsara. So that is the first step, satsangam. Ammal has given another big work, Prapanna Parijata. It is a big work, means he has 200 shlokas only. And that Prapanna Parijata only was elaborated as Rahasya Tresara by Swami Deshika. You can see that. All the works of Swami Deshika almost will have the kodu from Nadadurumal and will be the road. As Alavandar will put the code and Ramanuja will put the road. Similarly, Nadadurumal will put the kodu and Vedanta Deshika will build the road. That in Paramartha, in Prapanna Parijata, there are 10 paddhatis. And in one paddhati, 7th paddhati, Sadupasana paddhati it is called. There, Nadadurumal says, elaborating this, Sadhavaga Swabhigantavyaha Saddaha Sangasya Bheshajam. Sangam means our addiction to these mundane things. That's Sangam. That Sangam addiction will be removed only by a medicine. Today we have got so many treatments for addicts. But we are all addicts to samsara sukha. And who will provide the medicine for this? Only Santaha, only Sattukal, only sons, the noble souls will give us appropriate remedy to get out of the addiction to samsara. Sadhavastu abhigantavyaha santaha sangasya bheshajam. Then in Prapanna Parijata, Nadadurumal adds one more beautiful anecdote. Yatha patitva sanmadhye yayati punaraptavan swapadam tattatha satsu patito nevimuhyati. Even if the sats do not give you any upadesham, you ensure that you are with them. That itself will get you out of your addiction to samsara. If you fall in the company of sats, you will suddenly regain whatever you lost and get the glory and will be happy. For that he gives an example from Mahabharata. Yayati was a great Chakravarti. Yayati did so much of dharma and charity that when he went to Swarga, he was given a seat there that should be shared with Indra. How do you like? If you go to Rajya Sabha, and so you have to sit on the same chair, Ardhasana of the chairman there. How does the chairman like it? Whether you like it or not, how would the chairman like it? Indra was to share his asana, throne, with Yayati because Yayati had done so many good deeds. Indra was very, very unhappy, frustrated. This man also comes and shares my seat. How to get rid of this person? So he consulted with Brihaspati. Brihaspati told him you have to tolerate because it is Shastras. He had done so many good deeds and for that he gets the fruit. Indrasya Ardhamasanam. He will get half of your throne. So you have to bear with it. No, I am not able to bear. You are Brihaspati, you should find out some solution. And Brihaspati was intelligent enough to find a solution. He told him, tomorrow when both of you occupy the throne, you just ask Yayati, how did you manage to come to this level? Don't ask anything. What things you did to reach this? Of our throne. How did you get the power to occupy half of my throne? When next day he asked Yayati this question. Normally he was always looking this side when Yayati would sit there and would give a frustrated look. Today he started the conversation. Yayati should have been alert. But Yayati was unfortunately not alert. Simpleton. What were the things you did to come this place? I don't know, it is God's grace. It will be the correct answer. But poor Yayati fell in his trap, and he said, I offered thousands of cows to Vedavis, Samaveda, Yajurveda. I have given so much of land. He went on describing his good deeds. But at that time, Indra noted only, Yayati was gradually going out of it. As Yayati went on narrating his deeds, Yayati was just deviating from Indra, giving more space to Indra, and at one stage Yayati was virtually out of the throne. The secret is, when you declare the good deeds done by you, they are lost. So, dharmaha ksharati kirtana. You are not supposed to say, somebody asked me, how did you achieve this? Best solution is God's grace. If you tell, I did this, then you are gone. This is the moral of the story. Yayati was virtually on the brink of the seat. Now he can't sit there. He can't fall also because some more punya holds him. He is in the footboard. If he has to get down, means he has to do some more punya, he should enjoy. That only he can get down. At the same time, he can't come this side because his punyas have been exhausted. Yeah, Indra said our Guru is really great. Brihaspati is Brihaspati. Good idea. Now Yayati also realized, oh, we have been cheated by this fellow. Then it came to his mind, dawned, oh, I did this mistake. So Yayati, when Indra asked him further, what did you do? Yayati said, sorry, these are all I did. It's God's grace I am here. Because he wanted to be very sure that he was at least hanging there. Otherwise he will be falling down of heaven. He was that much smart. Indra now said, Yayati, what is the use of this? You are also not comfortable. I am still having the frustration that some portion is occupied by you. Let us come to a solution. Some solution. I will give you a boon. You accept the boon and get away from Swarga. You fall from Swarga. And Yayati immediately sought a boon. What boon? He said, please let me fall among these suns. I am going to fall down from heaven. Now, only one gift, boon you give, that I will fall among a place where suns will be there. Then Devata said, granted. Yayati fell from the heaven. Just like a Deva Purusha falling from heaven. In place where good people were assembled, there were 4 kings assembled who were doing sacrifice. And Yayati fell there, was about to fall there. They noted and said, Deva Purusha seems to be falling down. What has happened to him? So first, all 4 of them said, let him not fall. Let him be there itself, be there, they said. When they said be there, Yayati stood there in the space against gravity because their power was like that. Then they asked who are you? At that time their mother came there. Why children, you don't know he is your grandfather. My father, Madhavi was her name, Madhavi said. He is my father Yayati, your grandfather, maternal grandfather. Then they asked him, why did you fall? Why are you falling? He explained, this is how Indra made me fall. Then all the 4 grandsons, they are all the daughter's sons, not son's sons. What we call in Sanskrit as Dauhitra. We don't have a word in English for Dauhitra. In Tamil also you don't have a word for Dauhitra. But Matamahi in Tamil, Ceylon people call the word Ammamma. Ammamma, Ammappa. They say Amma Sappa is Ammappa, Amma Samma is Ammamma. Daughter's son is, there is no word. In Tamil, parent is the word. The parent can be son's son or daughter's son. As far as my Tamil knowledge goes, there is no word to distinguish between them, single word. And Pandvayathu parent, Pillavayathu parent, that is all they distinguish. Maybe there will be words, because many Tamil words we have not used, we don't know. We have got only pseudo Tamils among us. They neither know Tamil nor any other language. Leave it that. That is their headache. Now, these Dauhitras all joined and gave their powers. What all good deeds they had, that punya they gave to their grandfather, maternal grandfather, and said, with this you go to Swarga. So Yayati who was falling, now climbed up. Climbed and entered heaven. They say, Ponavan Tirimi Vandutaan, Punarayan Mahakapi. How dare you come again? Indra asked him. Indra said, Yayati said, it is God's grace. Now he was very careful. That is why if you fall in the circle of assembly of such, you will always be resurrected. This anecdote, Nadadurma Mahabharatam, he uses. That is why that it is said in Mahabharata, that day, Yayati made a declaration that from this day onwards, the grandsons through daughter, if they are used in Shraddha as Swamis, that Shraddha will be great complete, because they helped Yayati to climb up. That is, Nimantranam in Sanskrit always means calling people, inviting people is Nimantranam. But you can't go and say, I am doing Nimantranam for you by my daughter's marriage. People will slap you on your cheek. Because we don't do Nimantranam for auspicious occasions. Only for worshipping Pitris we use the word Nimantranam. Then Padini Bhagavan, Nimantranam Dauhitradinam Ahvanam. That is all. But Dauhitra is used there. But this Dauhitra is important in Shraddha. That because of these incidents, Yayati gave this declaration. And we are today also following that. Nadadurmal says in Prapanna Parijata, Yatha patitva sanmadhye Yayati punaraptavan Swapadam tathata asatsu patito na vibuhyati. That is why crave for satsanga. Well done, Mr. Karunakaran. Who is a Sat? Kindly beg how to identify a Sat? Sun. Vedas have declared Asan neva sabhavati Asat brahmeti veda chet Asti brahmeti chet veda Santamenantato viduriti. Simple English for this would be that person becomes non-existing for whom Brahma doesn't exist. Those who say God is not there, they are asats. They don't exist. Though they breathe, their breathing is false breathing. They are dead bodies which breathe. There are two types of dead bodies. Some dead bodies do not breathe. Some dead bodies breathe. These are the people who say there is no God. So Veda says, Asad Brahma iti Veda chet asanyeva sabhavati. Asti Brahma iti chet Veda. If one realizes that there is God, he is called Sat. Sun. Sat is a neutral gender word. Sun is the pullinga word. That is why I get into trouble even in using Sanskrit. For Tamil, Asat is okay. But in Sanskrit, if I say Asat, that person is Asat. Vijayaraghava Swami and Srinivasan Swami will look at me. There is no word Asat in to refer to a person, because that should be Asan in Sanskrit. That is masculine gender. That is a technical problem. Let us forget it. So, this person who does not believe in the existence of God is non-existent. But here there is another word. Sakti means knowledgeable person also. The Amarakosha says like this: Vidwan, Vipashchit, Doshagyaha, San, Sudhihi, Kovidaha, Buddhaha, Dhiraha, Manishi, Nyaha, Pragyaha, Sankhyavan, Panditaha, Kavihi, Dhiriman, Surihi, Kriti, Krishtihi, Labdhavarnaha, Vichakshanaha, Duradarshi, Dirgadarshi. They are the synonymous for the scholars. Sun means a scholar also. So Ramanuja explains this Shruti in this Vedic passage which comes in Taittiriya Upanishad. In his Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Anandamaya Jigyasa Adhikara itself, Brahma Vishaya Jnana Sadbhava Bhavabhyam Atmanasham Atmasattam cha Shruti Redave Vadati. Veda itself says, if you get knowledge of Brahma, you are existing. If you don't have, you are non-existent. So those who believe in the existence of God are the sun. No, there is one more word here. All believers of gods are not sun. You have to be careful. Many people believe in the existence of God, some force. They are not real sons. But who are the real sons? Uttamur Swami, in his Bhashyartha Darpana, gives a beautiful explanation. Asaditya, asanneva sabhavati ityatra, in this Vedic statement, asan-neva sabhavati. Asan should be divided into two words. Asaditya ka, asad brahmeti veda, brahma iti sat iti avedache. If a person does not understand that Brahman, Parabrahman is as per the explanation given in Vedas, he doesn't exist. Otherwise, today secular people will always criticize me for this. Will you declare all people who believe in God as son? Then you have to accept all people, our friends who destroy temples, because temples do not belong to their religion, will also become son. Is it possible? So we have to be careful. Just because you believe in your God, you say other gods are Saturn, will they be son? So, son is a person who understands Brahman as explained by Upanishad. Upanishad explains Brahman as the only cause of the whole universe. It is the material cause, it is the managerial cause, it is full of bliss, it is Satyam, it is Jnanam, it is limitless, Anantam. All these aspects of Brahman should be known to a person. A person who understands Brahman as described in Upanishad is son. Others are not sons. So you should have the company of such people. I think I have put my point, Amma's point like this. Satsanga Bhava Nispuraha. This is the first step. Satsanga is the first step. This will lead you to Bhava Nispuraha. You will become not interested in samsara. Your detaching from samsara should be because of the result of satsanga, not because of frustration. Please appreciate so. Deshika says, Vairagyam should come. Deshika explains this in Paramahonsopana. Vairagya should not be out of frustration. You should understand the things and then say they are bad, so I do not have. But some people say, I don't want these things because I have not got it earlier. It is like Chichi, the Padampulikam story. These are soul great stories. I had a classmate of mine, very handsome person, and during the college days itself, he was such a glamorous boy that he loved one Radha, and we know, all of us know. Then after some time we lost contact. Once I was going to Visakhapatnam in Godavari Express from Hyderabad, where I was then working, and I saw a Swamiji sitting before me, young Swamiji, whose face was so known to me. I was just wondering, who is this person? And that Swamiji told me, Karunakaran, don't you see me? I am your friend, classmate Suresh. I said, hey Suresh, how did you become a sage? Before final year you loved Radha and everything, so much interesting life you had. How did you become Swamiji? Sannyasi. He said, that Radha Rakshak girl, I believed her. She just went with somebody else. So I decided to be a sannyasi. No, this sannyasam, Vairagyam has come out of frustration. That this will not last long. How? I tell you. After 2-3 years, I was in Central Station. I saw this Swamiji walking. But this time he is not Swamiji. Jeans pant and t-shirt. By his side there was an American girl. I asked him, you were sannyasi when I met you in Godavari Express. In Central Station, how you have been Grahastha again? He said, I like this girl, so I have changed my mind. So this Vairagyam will be like this. The Vairagyam should come after understanding this is not useful. Because of frustration, if you get Vairagyam, that Vairagyam is no Vairagyam. This is what Deshika explains in Paramahonsopana. And here Nadaduramal just puts it. Satsanga Bhavanispra. If you become, your detachment to samsara should come because of the result of your attachment to such. But if it comes from some other reason, that will not hold you. Gu in Sanskrit means darkness. Ru in Sanskrit means preventing it. Darkness is ignorance. Because the Acharya prevents your ignorance, which is great darkness. He is called Guru. But actually, what Mr. Srinivasan is Guru, the word Guru comes from Unadi Sutra. You may remember. Grinati Upadishati. It comes from the Sanskrit root verb. Grinati Upadishati Vedadi Shastrani. Iti Guru. Giryate Stuyate iti va Guru. Grigro Runcha. Iti Unadi Sutra. That is, the word is derived like that. But this derivation, Dushabda Standhakarakya, Dushabda Stanirodha, is come from another Shastras. They give Agamas and others give also some other Niruti. So this Niruti is accepted. So you should go to a Guru who can repel your darkness and get Upadesham from him. Guru Mukhate. Then what you should do after that? After that, Srisham Prapadya. You should take refuge in the feet of Lakshmi Pati. Srisham. You should take refuge. This is the steps you have to take in life. How simply Acharya puts it. Satsangal Bhavanispakaha. Guru Mukhat Srisham Prapadya. Shisha means what? Shiyaha Ishaha Shisha. The boss of goddess Lakshmi. No. There is another derivation possible. Shrihi Isha Yasya Saha Shisha. One who has goddess Lakshmi as his boss. In our houses it is like that. I had a friend who used to write, I am the boss of this house. I have the permission to say so from my boss, my wife. So she is the real boss. So Parasara Bhattar Vishwasarana Bhashya says, Shishaha means Shriyaha Ishaha, Shrihi Yasya Ishaha, Sa Shrishaha. Sa Shrisha. So both meanings he has given. And Nadadrumal uses that word intelligently. Shisham Prapadya. There is a beautiful meaning in that. You should go to Acharya and through him you should have performed surrender at the feet of Lord Shisha. How do you surrender? Surrender is not directly done at the feet of the Lord. Surrender has got a first portion, which we call as Purushakara Prabhati. First we do surrender at the feet of Lakshmi and say, Goddess Mother, please ask your husband to accept me, forget my mistakes, let my Saranagati be fruitful. She says, yes, I have managed it, don't worry, now he will accept it. After this, if we go to him, he can't say no. Because she is a Isha. And she has recommended. One day in my the life in government service teaches you a lot of things. I was deputy director, a director was in the first floor, and his PA was in another room. When I went to PA's room to get some paper, I found one beggars sitting there. Beggars coming to office, what is this? I was surprised. I asked PA, what is the matter? He is sitting there. No, he had gone to boss's house, director's house for alms. That lady, boss's wife, she had told him, boss is in the office, go and get alms there. So he has come here. No, why don't you give something to him and said, no, boss said, please, after this meeting, please allow him to come in. I will honor him and then said. Because he has come with the recommendation of his wife. So when you get the recommendation of Shri, Lord Narayana cannot say no to you. So that meaning also should come. That is why Ammal has used Srisha. And he was such a great poet also. Satsangat Bhavanisprakaka, Gurumukhati Shisham Prapadya. Then next step comes. Then you become Atmavan. How do we explain this word Atmavan? Atmavan is one of the virtues of Lord Rama mentioned by Valmiki to Narada. In Atmavan Jidakrodha. What does this word Atmavan mean? Their commentators have given a beautiful meaning. Atmavan is a courageous person. The Sanskrit, the word Atma has so many meanings. Atma, Jive, Dhrito, Dehe, Swabhave, Paramatma. The word Atma can mean even your body. Atma can mean your courage. Atma can mean your nature. Atma can mean the supreme soul also. So many meanings are given for the word Atma. Atma means Manas also. Uddhared Atmanatman means Gita, it is used in that sense. So, here, Atma, after you do surrender at the feet of the consort of Lakshmi, you can be very bold because you are not going to Narakam. So, you have courage. Now, Ramanuja said, those who perform surrender at the feet of Lord, if they worry about their life here, they are also Nastikas. Because now that they have surrendered at his feet, it is his headache to protect you. So why do you worry about it? And if they worry about what will happen after my death, then also they are Nastikas. Because after death, because of this Prabhati, they are going to go only to his abode, Vaikuntha Loka. So nothing to worry about after death, nothing to worry about before death. Then you become tensionless, bold. Dhriti comes to you, you hold yourself. So you become Atma. So we have to use this word Atma in this sense. Or one who submits his Atma to the Lord becomes the real boss of Atma. You can also use that meaning. But this is better because this complies with Ramanuja's preachings and it is okay. After surrendering, we should die. One person was running in Grand Trunk Express, vestibule. He was running fast in the train. Train was going at 100 kilometers per hour speed. This man is running in that vestibule. One man asked him, why are you running? He said, I have to reach Chennai early, so I am running. So by running himself, he is not going to reach Chennai early. Only when GT Express reaches, he will reach. So the Lord is GT Express and you have climbed in the GT Express. Now it will take you at its own time. Nothing will happen by your running inside it. Like that, nothing will happen after doing surrender to the Lord. If you think you worry about it, then you should be at that time peaceful, courageous. That is why Shisham Prapadya Atmama. Prarabdham Paribhujya Karma Sakalam. This is a very great philosophical term. Prarabdham, Prakrishtam Arabdham, Swajaranayat. Prarabdha means one which has been begun. But here it is not used in the meaning. One which has begun to give you fruits. We do some karmas. We have done so many karmas in so many janmas, and all those karmas have been packed and kept in big bags. They are called sanchitas. And for immediate use, only one bag of karma has been opened, and that is giving fruit to us. That is called prarabdha. It has started giving phalan. So prarabdha. This karmaniktaha, bhuktaha brahmanaha. Itivat karmaniktam, rittha pratyam karmani. So, they have started giving fruit for you. This is called prarabdha may run to 5 or 6 births, we don't know. So, once it has started giving phalan, you have to bear it. Nothing can happen. So, people who do bhakti yoga, perform bhakti yoga, the moment they start doing bhakti yoga, Lord says, all right, I will just make all your sanchita papas inoperative one. Only prarabdha papa will work on you. When the prarabdha ends, you will come to moksha. But in the case of those who perform surrender at the feet of Lord, they have got an option to tell the Lord how much of prarabdha they will enjoy. They can say, prarabdha up to tomorrow only I am ready to enjoy. Prarabdha up to this minute only I am able to enjoy. That becomes Artha Prabhati, next moment he can go to moksha. This is these Iyengar people go on telling this. Is it really happening? Somebody will ask. But it may not happen really to many of us because we don't have that Bhavan Ispraha to go at this moment itself to Vaikuntha. But Shastras say it is possible. Chintayanti was there in Vishnu Purana, one of the Gopikas, who is the best example of this Artha Prabhati. But in recent days there was a great seer, Mahaprakala Swami in Paragalamatti. People question, you are telling once you do Prabhati to the Lord, you can decide how much prarabdha you will enjoy. If you say, I will not enjoy any more prarabdham, all prarabdham should be claimed now itself, Lord will accept and give you moksha immediately. Or if you say, I want to enjoy my prarabdham up to Tuesday, he will be okay. If you say to him that till my leaving this mortal coil, that also will agree. The prarabdha's peace, sakalam, means a portion of the prarabdha. That prarabdha portion which you will face is determined by you. This option is given to those people who perform surrender at his feet. How do you take? This is declared in Shastras. So Vachanat Pravritti, Vachana, Shastra has got so much, it can do anything. So Shastras say this. So once the prarabdha, that is the greatest advantage in Saranagati. For people who follow the other route called Bhakti Yoga, their prarabdham had to be enjoyed by them. So it can be 10 janmas, 20 janmas, 30 janmas. Or it can be n janmas also for them. But those who surrender at the feet of the Lord, they can decide that. The day of their departure, they can decide. Indro, Nalayo, oh, yena nagai seyindrane. Parthasadi smiles at you, says Swami Deshika. I am ready to give you moksha. Are you ready to come now? Or tomorrow? It is left you. That is the greatest plus point of Sharanagati. How you declare this? Because of these Shastras. So Mahaparikala Swami was explaining this. Some people doubted. He said, don't worry. Tomorrow morning I will go to heaven. I'll come. Next day he performed the puja for Hayagriva and said, Lord, take me now itself. My prarabdham to this moment only I will enjoy. He immediately shut his mouth of time. They say in chemistry, cyanide taste nobody knows. Because the moment you taste cyanide, you are gone. So you can't write how cyanide will taste. One scientist wanted to write it. So he put cyanide and then note on his bed. But the moment he swallowed cyanide, he went away. Till date, nobody knows how cyanide will taste. Similarly, Prabhati also, he sacrificed, that chemist sacrificed his life to tell how cyanide will taste. But Mahaparikala Swami sacrificed his life to prove that Lord will give moksham at the end of prarabdham chosen by you. So Nadadharma said, prarabdham paribhujya karma shakalam. A piece of karma. Shakalam is a chip or bit. Prarabdham astan abhimana shunya. There is a shloka in Bhagavata where this prarabdham comes in this sense. So prarabdham paribhujya karma shakalam. What will happen to the sanchita karmas? Prakshina karmantra. They are gone. Where they are gone? They would be going to people who are against you. A very careful thing we should be Brahmavid apachara duragam purusham. The greatest problem is when you see a man who looks like a son, never wound him. Never make him feel bad about you. The moment you make him feel bad about you and you become an enemy to him, Lord, what all papas he has done, they can't be destroyed just like that. He will distribute it to people who bear hatred towards him. And if he had done any good thing, he will distribute it to those in his Sanchita Punya, he will give it, distribute it to people who are favorable to him. I remember in 1979, we were staying in Kotturapuram. The great Uttamur Swami was in old age. My father told him, please take to me Uttamur Swami. I want to meet him. You also have to come with me. Both the things were not acceptable to me at that time. Because father cannot be said just, he will not go by bus. We have to fix a taxi for him. At that time in my economy, the taxi going when coming back will be 250 will be too much. I mean 1979. So I wanted to avoid. Why you want to struggle? Let he is also old, you are also old. No, you are coming with me, we are going. Then I had no option, we went. At that time when we were traveling by taxi, he told me, only for you I am going. If you go and prostrate before him now, if he feels this Karunakara has come prostrated and feels happy towards you, some of his punyas will come to you. Because he will go to heaven. And that Sanchita Punya will make a good scholar. It is my duty to take. So now you understand the message. So Naladruma says, Prakshina Karmantara. Other karmas will be Prakshina. What is time now? Huh? 10 minutes only left. Only 10 minutes left. Then, Nyasa Deva, because of your surrender, Nirankusha Ishwara Daya, Bhagavan gives you moksha. But how to go to moksha? It is told in Shastra, there are 100 and odd nadis, veins emanating from in our body, and the soul will go out of the body through any one of the veins. But if it has go to heaven, heaven means Vaikuntha Loka, the soul should leave from the Madhyama Nadi, Murtha Nadi. So the soul should be put into the vein at that time. But the pain you will face at that time will be enormous. Tristona Kshoba Desi. That is why the son should be by the side of father at that time. That if he just touches him, it will be a healing touch for him. But when this last moment comes, this jiva which is living in the heart has to just get into the vein which will take him from, which is coming from the navel, that will take this jiva out of his head, Murdha-Nadi, and put him in this rays of the sun, through which it will have its path further to moksha. This jiva won't know at that time. For that, Lord resides in the heart. Because he has done prapatti, Harda is called reside in the heart. One who is residing in the heart, Hridayavarti, Harda, Hrit, he says in Hrit, that Harda Paramatma ensures by making a light come, so that this Jivatma enters in that vein and leaves the body through Buddha-Niradi. So this will be possible. Why should the Lord do this for you? Because of his enormous kripa, mercy. Nobody can question. There can't be any auditing on it. Even our Prime Minister's funds are not auditable. Even our Chief Minister's funds are not auditable. If then Lord Lakshmipati, nobody can audit her. Why you did this to this man? That is why Ammal says, Nirankusha Shwaradaya. He is Nirankusha, no control. There is no auditor controller of auditor to question why he gave this to him, why you gave this to him. Nobody can question the Lord why he made M.S. Subbulakshmi to sing so well. If today our M.K. Stalin gives you house, there can be a case, why did you give house to him? How can you give government's house to him? This is my question though. But if Lord gives us such a beautiful voice, what Naiveli Santanam has, then what will happen? Can I go and put a case against Lord? Why did you give this wife to Santanam? Why did not give that to me? Nobody can go see him. There is no auditing for him. He is Nirankusha Ishwara. And he is Nirankusha and his Kripa is still Nirankusha. Nirankusha Ishwara Daya means Nirankusha Ishwara, his mercy. Or Nirankusha Ishwara's mercy. Which is beautifully by Abbad. Nirankusha Ishwara Daya, Niluna Mayanmayaha. All these imaginary sambandhas will go, and then you will go through the Madhyama Nadi. There is a longest Brahma Sutra. Harda Anugrahalabdha Madhyama Manidvara Bahirnirgataha. He is coming from this biggest Brahma Sutra, longest Brahma Sutra. Tadovako Grajwalanam Tat Prakasha Tadvaro Vidya Samarthya Tachedagatyanu Smriti Yoga Chat Harda Anugrihita Shatadhikaya. The longest Brahma Sutra. I think in Advaita also this is one sutra only. This is longest sutra. By the virtue of the greatness of the meditation of the Lord and the meditation of the path to reach Him, that is why this path is important. Path to reach Him, the meditating soul, blessed by the grace of the Lord, reside in his heart, has the edges of his abode enlightened, thus the vein above the 100, Satadhiyanada above the Madhyamanadi, the meditating soul goes out through that vein. That is the meaning of this sutra. Harda Anugraha Madhyadamani Dwara Bahirnirgata. Whole sutras Nadadurmal puts here. For him, what is that? He should have been child's play. He has been living. He has been eating, living, thinking only Shivashya. So he writes it so beautifully. Satanchaika hridayasya nadhyaha tasam murdhanam abhinisritaika tayordhamayan amritatvameti vishwanganya ukramane bhavanti. Cut over it, it comes. Okay, now that already we are reaching 6th time. Then muktaha. This is the first sloka. Then this Jivasma becomes liberated. He is designated as Mukta. Still he has not become Mukta. Some more formalities are there. That explains. Step 10, the 12 escalating angels. There are 12 devas appointed by Lord Narayana to escort this Jivatma to Vaikuntha. They are called Adivaikas, not escalating, escorters. They are called Adivaikas. These 12 Adivaikas, list of these in Upanishads in some places, some are mentioned, some are not mentioned. These have been discussed in Sharirika Shastra, Brahma Sutra, and the escorting angels list has been finalized. And that list is given in one shloka by Nadadurmal himself. It is another Tattvasara. Archiraha Sita Paksham Udagayanabda Marudarkendun Abhivaidyuta Varunendra Prajapati Nati Mahikanahu. Swami Deshiva quotes this shloka in Paramasopana. This is told by our Paramacharya. This is the list of 12 escalating angels, Adivaikas. What do they do? As the Jivatma goes to heaven, first he teaches light. Light means presiding deity of light. He says, please come. And like the CM, if he goes to Madurai by road, then he will cross Changalpat, then he will cross Vidupuram, and those district collectors will stand and receive him. Like that, when this blessed soul goes to the heaven, these Adivaikas, the escorts, will come and offer their salutations to him, and then ask him to take rest there, and do all upacharas, and then sing him off. That is the duty of these 12 people. This we should remember every day, that God is going to take with this route. We will have an escort. In these places we don't have. In this place signal comes, police car stops us. But in that journey, final journey, Lord will provide these escorts and they will salute us. So for all the sufferings we had in samsara, we are going to a beautiful path. If you meditate on this every day, how will life be? That is, this should be done every day. In Bhakti Yoga, it is an angam for that. The route should be contemplated every day. Prapanna, even if contemplates or not, he will go to moksha through this route. But he will also out of enjoyment. Suppose I want to go, suppose I have a call to Delhi. Then what I will do? President calls me to Delhi. Then I will say I will go by air, go to the airport, and then from there I go to Palam airport. I will get all these things. I will think, who are the people I have to take with me. So many plans we will do with the happiness. Or those days, if marriage is fixed, the bridegroom will have a Janvasa. When is Janvasa means he will take it in an open car. And then one short fellow was there. He said, when I sit in the open car, these children will come. They will also sit. Then 5 face will not be seen. So I should ask the fellow to put a pillow. I should sit over that. All these imaginations will be there for the bridegroom. Like that we should have this imagination. When we go to heaven, ultimate heaven, these will be the escorts. They will be offering their service to us. We should contemplate. First person to escort us is Archis in Sanskrit. It is light. Light means deity for light. And the light is controlled by one deity, given that post by Lord Narayana. Then we go to the deity for day. Daytime, there is a deity controlling daytime. That deity will offer his salutation to us and then take us forward. Then we go to bright fortnights. The Shukla Paksha, this Valarpirai, what we call us. That deity in charge of that then receives and sees off. Then we go to the 6 months in Uttarayana, in charge of the deity in charge of those 6 months. They will take us further. Then there will be the deity in charge of year, that will receive us and take us further. Then wind god will come and take us further. So 6 people you have done the list. Then in the next slide you see other. 7th Adivayika, escorting angel, is deity Surya. Yes, you go up Surya Loka. Then Chandra receives you and sees you off. Then lightning comes, deity in charge of lightning receives you, takes you further. Then god of rains, Varuna, receives you and takes you further. Then Indra, leader of all the devas, takes you and receives. And Brahma, the big chief person in the Anda, comes and escorts you and says, now you are God. I am not able to go to moksha because I am doing bhakti yoga. Only when I retire I can go. Suppose this upanyasam is not interesting, you can just go and have your lunch there at fruits. But I can't do that, I have to finish and go. So Brahma says, I am stuck to my position here. You are lucky, you are going, go to heavens. Like that, these 12 people respect you, honor you and lead you. That is Sima. Then you will go to the bordering river between Prakrita Loka and Vaikuntha Loka. Always, if you reach a good civilization place, you will have a city, you will cross a river bordering that. From here if you go, you will have Palar. And if you near Trichy, you will have Kaveri. If you near Madurai, you will have Vaigai. If you near Tirunelveli, you will have Tamarapalli. Like that, between us, Prakrita Loka and Vaikuntha Loka, there is a stream, river called Viraja. So up to Viraja, this will happen. In Viraja, he will cross Viraja by his thought, they say. But Ammal says, he will have a dip in Viraja. Simanta Sindhapta, bordering river. This is also given in Sahagama, Ammal has given this. Simanta Sindhapta, Vaikuntham Upetye. He will then reach Vaikuntha Loka. Sri Vaikuntham. How is this Vaikuntha Loka? It is Nitya, eternal. There is no destruction, there is no creation for that Loka. There is no Pralaya for Vaikuntha Loka. Because it is Nitya Loka by his Sankalpa. And it is Ajada. This is quoted by Swami Deshiyan, Tattva Adimam Kechidahu. Jada, Ajadam Kechidahu. So, this Swami Deshiya says, our Acharya has said is Ajada. Ajada means Vaikuntha Loka. Is though it is not Chaitan, though it does not have knowledge, it will be phosphorus. That you go to Vaikuntha Loka, Tasmin Para Brahmana Sayujyam. There you will have the Sayujyam of the Supreme Lord. What is Sayujyam? Sayujyam is Sayujo Bhava Sayujyam. Sayujyam is whatever Lord enjoys, you will enjoy that. Whatever pleasure he has got, you will have that pleasure. This will happen to whom? The Dhanya. This will happen to Dhanya, the blessed soul. Dhanya actually means Dhanayakita Dhanya. Dhanayakita, one who is okay for getting wealth. Real wealth for us is Vaikuntha Loka. What is the Dhana for us? Dhanam Madiyam Tavapada Pangajam. Kadanu Sakshat Karavani Chakshusha. The real wealth for us is golden lotus feet. That is why we become Dhanya. Then Dhanya, Nandadi Samam, we enjoy with him Puman, this soul. How does this word Puman come? They say it comes from Pati Rakshati, one protector. How? Pumans are normally protectors. They have to protect others. This person at least protects his soul and reaches Gila. Pater Dumsun. There is a Unadi Pratya. From that, this word is derived Puma. So, Nadadrumal says, Vaikuntham Upetya Nitya Bhajanam Tasmin Para Brahmana Sayujjam Sampetya Nandadi Samam Teraiva Dhanya Puma. Along with him, he enjoys everything. What all the happiness Lord has, he will also have. There is no difference. This will be the blessed soul's journey to get eternal bliss. So, journey of blessed soul to bliss is explained in these two slokas. It is quite interesting. You would like to light of that. So, daily chant this, imagine and meditate on this. Then you will get that. That is when Nadadrumal gave this. I have, in the last portion, I have gone very fast also. But all these things have to be explained. For that you have to read whole Shibhashi, also the fourth Adhyayas, Utkrantipada and Acharadipada. So those things are there. But Gadadharumal has given all of them in brief, in clarity, to chant daily and meditate on the root and enjoy the bliss there. Now be ready for the bliss by doing Prapatti at the feet of Lord Shrisha. That is the essence of these two slokas. Iti karunakara sudhiya paramartha dvayakriti kuleshasya virda vishwadika mohana parishas sudhi jana prityai. Mohan Foundation, Vishnu Mohan Foundation. Vishnuadika, Vishnu is in the front of this word. Vishnuadika Mohana Parishas Sudhi Jana Priti. People, scholarly audience. This is a scholarly audience, in an audience where Srinivasan is there, where V.S. Vijayaraghavan Swami is there, where Naiveli Santanam is there, and so many people are there. This should be Guruji is there. This is a Sudhi Jana audience. So for your satisfaction, Karunakaran narrated Kuleshasya, our ancestor sloka. We have got special pride because Nadadharumal is Kulesha for all of us, and for us blood also is Kulesha. For others through Jnana, for us by blood also. So we are very lucky to have a chance to spread his message. Now I will chant the whole two slokas so that we will have the happiness of understanding all these slokas. Vandeham Varadariyam Tam Vatsa Vijana Bhushanam Bhashyamrita Pradhanadya Sanjeevaiti Mamapi Satsangat Bhavanispruho Guru Mukhat Shisham Prapadyatmavan Prarabdham Paribhujya Karma Shakalam Prakshila Karmantaraha Nyasadeva Nirankushashvara Daya Niluna Mayanvayaha Hardanugraha Labdha Madhya Dhamanidvara Bahir Nirgataha Muktaha Archirdina Purvapakshashrudang Masabdha Vatamshu Madglo Vidyut Varunendra Dhatrumagitaha Simanta Sindhvaprutaha Shri Vaikundam Upetya Nityamajadam Tasmin Parabrahmanaha Sayujyam Samavapya Nandati Samam Tanaiva Dhanya Puman Pratar Nityanusandheyam Paramartham Mukshiviki Slokadvayena Samkshittam Suvyaktam Varado Bravi Pitre Brahmopadeshtre Me Gurave Deivataya Cha Prapyaya Prapakaya Namah Srinidhaye Namaha. Thank you for Guruji to have given me full liberty to take my own time. We never get such organizers. They say, see, please leave us at 6:30, 6:50. Guruji was so kind. The topic is also so nice. The assembly is also so fine. The only thing not that fine may be myself. So kindly forgive any mistakes done by me. No, I pray to my Father and do Purti of this Upanyas. Pitre Brahmopadeshtre Me Gurave Deivataya Cha Prapyaya Prapakayastu Namah Srinidhaye Namaha Yesha Vai Klupto Nama Yajnaha Kalpate Havai Tatra Prajabhyo Yoga Kshemaha Yatraitena Yajnena Yajamte Hari. Thank you.